So, this is William Levy, founder and overseer of Operational Missions. I'm here to, introducing you to the Beth farmland in South Sudan. We are located in Eastern Equatoria, which is the most southern state of South Sudan, bordering Uganda, Kenya, and Ethiopia. So we are on Ugandan border. Since people return home from Uganda, exiles to rebuild their country, the vision that God has given to Operation Mare is simply to tap in the resources of the land. It's absurd to import food from Uganda in this beautiful land that God has given us. So it has been since 2004, Operation Mare has dedicated its time and engaging donors who have been financially sowing into this ministry, without whom we couldn't do anything much regarding the challenges, the daunting task of rebuilding a country from scratch. So, to many pundits and critics say, like, what difference does it make? So, what are you going to do with the land? And it's overgrown and thing of the nature. But at the same time, food and food consumption is going to be part of humanity. That's what could keep us alive. And God wants us to work with our own hands. And the Bible says, "He who doesn't work will not eat." So we have to work in order to eat. Feeding our family alone is such a challenge now, let alone trying to feed a country. So there is no way people will just survive in subsistence living, hands to mouth. So there is a need to actually use the resources in the land. This has been such a vision and a desire God has granted. God say, "I will give you the desire of your heart." The desire of our heart is that God will give the vision to the South Sudanese who have returned from exile, not to look any further than their own land God has given to them, to work with their own hands and feed their family and sustain their community and raise up the living standard of their community and make the men and the women work. And these children, as you can see now, are holding eggplant huge in their hands with their parents. And but this food, these products did not come from exile. It's right from South Sudan, and this is because of your support to this. So the challenges we're facing is still massive because there are tens of thousands of people coming from exile. So the idea of improving Operation Myanmar's productivity with support coming from the United States of America is still needed. We need more.
Yes, today is the 11th of July. We are here in Borongole, right, of course, behind our missions compound. We actually tilled this land. That was way back in May. And today you can see amazingly, really, God is doing something great into our lives. So I'm here handing over to our agriculture coordinator to really explain to us what is really going on. Behind, of course, the camera happens to be Pastor Timothy Levy, the country director of Operation Nehemiah Mission. So I have the coordinator and, of course, our farm manager. They are together right here holding something that's really giving smiles onto our face. So, coordinator, what's going on here?
Wow. Yes, I am Pastor Jeremiah Levy. I just want to say this is unbelievable. This is the first time we are having this kind of harvest. So I just want to start by thanking God for making this possible, because we can't do it without Him. And also I want to thank the donors for their support, that they supported the work of the ministry. And all of a sudden, people are all surprised that this kind of produce is coming out from a land people believe can never produce anything. In this country, most of the time we go to neighboring countries to buy this kind of thing. These are, eggplant here, you are seeing right here. We have never done this before. This is the first time, and this is just, we have grown this behind our backyard, by the way. It is not actually in the main farm, just behind the backyard. We have this, the plantation of the eggplant, and we have that one there. On my right is a tomato plantation. and we have harvested already more. You can see how it is coming up. So we are grateful that we have come back home, and now finally we are doing this from our own country. I just want to thank God for that. This is it. We have some more out there apart from this one.
Yes, as we are going to be moving forward, maybe brief word from the manager. So, sir, thank you for your efforts. We can say today, we are really harvesting out of our own sweats. We are trying to benefit. Maybe a few words from you.
Thank you. As you have seen what we have holding now here, this eggplant, which is called the Black Beauty, and we have very many varieties. Some are called long purple. We have a lot of them in our farm, which will need of even a vehicle for transporting it. Thank you.
Thank you. So in terms of maybe sale, if you are to take that out now in the market, how much are you going to sell? I can see it's so big. So how much are you going to sell? Maybe are you making it a piece, or you put 2 or 3 of them?
We put 3 at 400 South Sudanese pound.
400 South Sudanese pound. That's equivalent to like 4 pieces, equivalent to like $1.
$1,
Okay. $1, or that is like $10?
It's like
$10. So a piece can go at around, let's say 2.5. Okay. All right. Let's go to some of the things we have around. I can say our beautiful women here gathering some great things around. So coordinators, follow me ahead to join me up to report what they are also gathering here. It's amazing. We have varieties here that you can get yourself to see what the Lord is doing for us here. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. We call this in our language Tula. Yes. So, so you call this African eggplant?
Yeah, that is called bilinganya.
Okay.
African eggplant,
Okay. Yeah, you know, it's very delicious. So you can see. Yeah, Kunieta, you can go ahead.
It is just amazing. We're excited actually to see that we are getting this from our backyard.
Yes.
God is doing it, so we are grateful for what He has done.
Okay.
We have more of this the other side, though. So
now from here, we are going to take you to see what again we have when it comes to the, of course, the tomatoes, which already been taken home. Thank you.
We have more of this here. We brought this one home now, from the farm to home. So you can see we have more of the eggplants and also the tomatoes and the African tola.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you. Mine is
ready to actually help the ministry also get it to the market. So I think we are becoming the producers as well as the consumers. I think it's all about creating food security. So we cannot go across the border because there's a lockdown in Uganda. Right now we can produce our own and benefit out of it. So thank you. God bless you.
Yes, you have just heard from our country director and the farm coordinator, as well as the agricultural manager, from their own mouth what God is doing in Beth Israel farmland in terms of agricultural development. So I just want to add to what they're saying. You know, what you are seeing right now, our staffs from the farmland bringing produce to Nimule market. Nimule is a very congested and very affluent, you will say, a border town between South Sudan and Uganda. And today I am very thrilled to see that the produce from Beth Israel farmland, which is supervised by Operation Human Missions up in Aka Mountains, in 50 miles north of Nimule, are making their way to the local market within South Sudan in Nimule. And you make no mistake about it. You can see people are just, really buying these tomatoes right there locally, opposed to when they are getting all of their produce at retail price from Uganda, and they have to cross over the border and they have to pay taxes. So I think I want to thank God, and we're indebted to all of our donors who have caught the vision of Operation Male Missions and have really understood the fact that these people need to be sustainable. They have to have productivity and put their hand to the plow. And the vision of Operation Male is right to help them stand on their feet. And so now the ministry is no longer only feeding its staff, is also feeding is also merchandising the produce into the local market. So that's really a blessing to see that now. That's exactly what ought to happen from being consumer to now being consumer as well as a producer, as our country director has just said. So I wanted to thank you again for your vision and for your commitment to support this effort. As the Bible says, there's in Proverbs 20, verse 4, that those who are too lazy to plow in the right season will not have food at the right harvest. So, but then say this: farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest. This has been something that we had wanted to overcome. We're not going to wait until there's a perfect timing. This applies to even whether there is war or no war, whether there is harvest, whether it's rain or drought. We just keep on plugging ahead. So, and the Bible said, be sure you know the condition of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herd, for riches do not endure forever, and crown is not secure for all generation. So what we're doing is, we know that men do not live on bread alone, but from everything that proceeds from the mouth of God. As we say, first we disciple the people, one person, one family, and one church, and one community at a time. That's what you see. All these people right now are benefiting from all this encouragement and teaching that has been laid out over time. Now they're working with their own hands. So it is really imperative to see and the blessing of what the Lord is doing in South Sudan through your help. So the challenges are massive, but we are not despairing, and we are faithful that God will bring to pass what He has begun. So as you can see right now, that indeed the Bethlehem Elementary School comprises of children who came from exile. And imagine if all of the food to feed these children are to be imported from Uganda. We couldn't even afford that. So the Bible says wisdom has been vindicated by our children. So therefore, we have been investing in agricultural production, the food security within South Sudan. And so far, it is working. In a way, for years, we didn't really grow vegetable, especially things like tomatoes and eggplant, which you see here. This particular project is dedicated for that. You don't see them in South Sudanese market. They always come from Uganda. We ourselves, we don't really grow them that much. We grow other crops like cassava and peanuts and things like that. But this time, these vegetables are very foundational to thing. So we are growing it in our own farm, and it's really happening. I'm just blown away the amount of tomatoes and eggplants are being produced now. This is just one dimension. We are also having onions and oranges and mangoes and papayas. All of these fruits of all level are now coming forth from the field. So, the other dimension to all of this is South Sudan being a new country. If we continue to import things from Uganda, we continue to import food from somewhere else and continue to depend on the UN. Imagine that, we cannot sustain ourselves, because then our import exceeds our export. That affects South Sudanese currency, our GNP, the national gross product, the gross national product of South Sudan will be dismal. And if it is really that small, it ballooned the inflation of the country, of the country's currency, and it also make it impossible for South Sudan to compete with the international currency. We'll be always exchanging South Sudanese currency to dollar in a high rate. The dollar will always, overshadow these currencies, European euro and others African currencies. So to balance all of that, we cannot look for any other solution further than generating income from within. And if everybody across South Sudan that's what Operation ONMI is doing right now, I think in a short order we can actually transform that country. So, but the really true wisdom come from the Lord. So, and as the Bible said, the Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season, in to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. Deuteronomy chapter 28:12. So I wanted to thank you again for all those who have been supporting Operation Mea Mission. We are in the month of July. We have 2 days to close this month. We're still behind by $40,000. You won't believe it, but we believe that within a couple of days here, God will raise that money, and we move on. There's so much challenges going on, but we are not despairing, because it has been almost 28 years we've been doing this, and God has always come through. So I want to thank you for your support, and if the Lord led in your heart to go.